Good morning, YouTube. Reseller Mom here. Welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to walk you through, start to finish, merchant fulfilling an item and kind of all the little pieces that go into it, because I'll be honest, it is a little tough and it's hard to judge when you're at the store. How much does this weigh? How much is it going to be for shipping? Shipping prices just went up this month. Speaking of which, we are on October 26, 2022. It is almost Halloween and we are entering into the busy time of Q4, and everybody wants to merchant fulfill and capitalize on the holiday spending, right? We're going to be, I think they said up 25% from last year. It goes up every year so far. So good time to make a lot of money. However, it's also a good time to make mistakes. And you'll see in this product, I'll be upfront, the profits were not great. I would not buy this product again. So I'm sharing with you kind of all the ins and outs with it. And then also like some options, because if you say, how do I ship this? How do I ship this? Well, you could ship it a few different ways. You could ship through Amazon. You could ship through outside of Amazon. The pros and cons to that are, if you're in Amazon, you maintain that A to Z guarantee if the item doesn't get to your customer. However, there becomes a point where sometimes shipping outside of Amazon is worth the cost savings. So like many questions in life, the answer on how to do merchant fulfilling is it depends. It depends on what you're selling, how you're selling it, what's the weight, etc. Even the time of the year. So we're going to start off right here going through a said product. These guys I found at Fred Meyer, which is my local Kroger, and they are the Halloween pumpkins, the Reese's Pieces. They are so yummy, and they are a great item to capitalize on for, let's see here, Halloween, Christmas, the trees, and then Easter's little eggs. I have sold them on and off on all three of those holidays, and even holding on to them sometimes and letting everybody sell out and then selling them in the end of November can work to sometimes. Again, look at Keep It charts for sales velocities. So I was at Fred Meyer and I found this listing and nobody was on it. I was like, oh, interesting. I kind of want, the rank and count look amazing. 2,000 in groceries. It's a couple weeks before Halloween. Now, obviously, I've already, I bought one set for this video and I'm no longer on this listing, etc. And I wouldn't really recommend this listing after trying it out. And that's a great point. People will often say, well, how much should I get? Until you're comfortable, only buy one or two and then walk through the process, see how it goes, and then go back and repeat, rinse and repeat. I do that for all my Q4 merchant fulfilled items, because the last thing you want is something that costs you money or tanks really hard and is not a good seller. So always go lean. I know it's tempting to clear that shelf, but sometimes you just got to say, nope, I'm going to test this out, do my due diligence, and then I'll go back and clear the shelf. So 2,000 rank in grocery, awesome. I try to stay under 50K in grocery as a general rule of thumb for sourcing items. And again, based on Keepa, because right now I am sourcing grocery items for the Q4 Christmas time that may be a little bit higher, and that's because people haven't really started buying it. So the rank has been, over the summer, the rank is going to tank, right? And because nobody's buying whatever chocolates and whatnot. Meltable season just opened up back again on the 15th. That's something else to keep in mind when you are looking at things. There's a lot of things that go into purchasing. So 9,000 reviews, that looked really good. The only thing that was different from this product and the product on the floor was the packaging had a new design. You'll see that from time and time again, packaging's having a little bit of a rework for the new season. Now, should you get on them or should you not get on them? Again, it depends. If you are going on a vitamin or maybe something that's a little bit more complex than Reese's peanut butter cups, you're going to need to make sure that it's just the packaging that updated and they didn't update one small little ingredient that could make a change to said product. So double checked the weight, the content, they are pumpkins, etc. Double, triple check everything. We've got 1.2 ounce package total. It's 7.2 ounces. You get 6. The other thing with inflation and whatnot that we're seeing across the board is things that used to be 5 ounces are now 4.5 ounces. Things that were maybe 7.2 ounces the year before were maybe 8 ounces. It's because companies are trying to keep the same price point, but they offer less in the package. So we're going to go over and do this through Inventory Lab. If you are doing it outside of Inventory Lab, then, it's pretty easy. Just list like anything else on Amazon. But in the Inventory Lab, you're going to create a batch. And I just call this MF and the date. I don't get creative, but if you want to be creative, you can get creative there. You can import a buy list. So if you're out shopping and you're using Scoutify 2, which is what you get with Inventory Lab, you can do a buy list and just import it there. You can select a different ship from address. I have several ship from addresses, including some manufacturers I work with. When I go down to Portland, I'll ship from Portland. I'll ship from my mother's house. So make sure you're selecting the right address. That's going to play into shipping estimations, etc., with your item. More so, well, yeah, just make sure this was right. This is more for FBA, but because merchant fulfilled, you're going to have that in your back end on Amazon anyways. And then channel, you're going to change this from FBA to MFN. Workflow, I always keep private. In fact, I think they're getting rid of the live workflow, if my memory serves me right. And then I always label my items, but if you were sending it into Amazon, you could change that. Box content's going to be off because obviously we're not sending in a box. And I do not capture my min-max preferences here because I capture them on Be Cool. And so I don't need Inventory Lab to capture them, but everybody does a little bit something different. So I went ahead and grabbed the ASIN, which if I scroll back up here, sometimes it's hard when there's nothing featured here to find the ASIN on this screen. This is just Amazon Seller app. And sometimes if you go into the features and details, you can find the ASIN there. But if not, you just hit this list button. And on the list page, you can grab both the UPC and the ASIN. So I grabbed the ASIN, put it in, and they had a bunch of variations to this chocolate listing, which is great. That's fine. You're going to match up, obviously, the one that we're doing, and go ahead and select that. Now, did go over, I pulled the Keep a chart for this, and it looks like the lows are somewhere around the 20, the highs are around 40. Since there's no sellers, I need to pick a price point, right? So I need to see the Keep a chart. And you can see that there has been some activity, but it's hard to judge because it is a Halloween item. And you're not going to see like a bunch of sales for Halloween pumpkins in July because they're not out at the store. People aren't buying them. It's chocolate. People aren't going to want to ship chocolate because of the multiple seasons. If you've ever had these pumpkins melt on you, you know what I'm talking about. They're a mess. All right. I always go in with my list price very high. My estimated shipping, I popped in $9. My go-tos are probably going to be $4 to $5 if it's under a pound, and then maybe over. Yeah, I'm going to say $4 to $5 if it's under a pound. Sorry, my messages are going off. And then $9 to $12 if it's kind of a bigger, bulkier item. And these guys, a pack of 3, and they are 7 ounces. 7.2, you can do the math, 7, 14, 21 ounces. That's going to be over a pound. So they either need to go into a flat rate mailer or, you're going to pay up because it's a little bit more than a pound. It's going to be heavier. But regardless, when you're in Inventory Lab and you're putting these estimations in, it doesn't really matter. Like, don't get hung up on this. Don't be like trying to calculate to the nth degree on what these numbers are because it doesn't really matter. You're just kind of putting in what you want in the system and you're going to go fix it on Amazon's side. And then Inventory Lab will pull the data straight from Amazon on what you paid and how profitable it is, etc. All right. You can add multiple purchases here. Let's say I found 30 of these at Fred Meyer and then I found 30 of them at Walmart. You can add multiple purchases on here. When I'm doing merchant fulfilled, I don't ever put in the expiration date because it doesn't matter. I'm going to ship it out. If I were going to ship this into inventory or into Amazon, you would need to add the expiration date. Okay, now I have added these guys and I always just put 1 and then I go and adjust later. You can put multiple in. It, again, doesn't really matter. When it gets, well, I shouldn't say it doesn't really matter. but you're going to go and adjust the quantity on Amazon's side as well, or have the ability to do that. And I find that Amazon sometimes oversells things, so I always want to go in lower. So if I picked up 10 at the store, I'm going to put 7 into the system and then do an inventory count, especially as we get towards Q4. Some things to remember: if a customer cancels their order, it does not go back into your inventory. At least it didn't last year, unless they fix that. So, your inventory count can get off even if you feel like you're on top of it, like white on rice, man. It is tough. So I always put in less than what I have, and then I will go and adjust it because of the shenanigans. I don't know how else to describe it. When you're in here on the next page, you can go in and adjust up here. Quantity, I bumped it up to 7. And then I just showing you guys how you can do that. And then you're going to submit. And there you go. You can have that. You click submit. It's going to ask if you want to sync with Seller Central. Yes, you want to sync. And then it's going to, boom, be done. Now you have a total. I put in 7 for this thing. But again, it's easy to go over to Amazon and then prick 0. It does mess up your inventory count on the inventory lab side, but that's easily fixable too, if you even care. Like, I stopped fixing my inventory on the inventory lab side because all my reports for inventory lab, all my sales data, etc., it pulls straight from Amazon. So it doesn't really matter if inventory lab is off on what they think the counts should be. If you go into your inventory and they give you a little warning and it says your inventory count doesn't match Amazon. Well, I get that all the time, because when things are in FC transfer, or they're on the way to Amazon, or there's a customer return or something, the count gets off all the time. All right, so it will give you a sales data down here: total sales value, total buy cost, net profit. Again, since my shipping may or may not be on par, I kind of just ignore these numbers. I don't worry too much about them. We've had all sorts of system delays and updates with Inventory Lab this month, so if you are struggling with that, you're not alone. We all are. Now let's go on to the Amazon side of things. A lot of times, because of how my shipping template is set up to charge for weight, things that are on the heavier side are going to wind up being flagged for potential high pricing error. This is annoying. You're, again, not alone if you keep getting the products flagged like this. It was absolutely ridiculous this whole week. This video was taking me forever because I had to keep messing with this. It said competitive price $23.50. I have no idea where they're getting that, because there was nobody else on the listing. Like, where are you getting that, Amazon? They are probably getting it from Walmart.com or some other website that they think they're comparing apples to apples. And a lot of times it's apples to oranges, and it doesn't make sense. Yes, this is a lengthy video, but I feel like touching on all these little points is needed, especially for new sellers. So in order to get your potential high price error out, there's a couple things you can do. One, the obvious: lower your price. The other that other people have suggested is add in mins and maxes to your item. I have found that that doesn't work. Maybe it works on some things, but when I tried it this last week, it did not work, adding in a min and a max. It still was flagging. I had to bring this down. I usually will start so since this is $23, I think I went to 35, and then the 30, and then the 15. I had to go all the way down to the $3 to $5 range before it started showing up. And it's not going to show you your estimated fees or give you the buy box or anything until you get out of this potential high pricing error. I know it's annoying. Nothing I can do about it. All right. Once I got out of that, let's see here. I sold it for $3. I sold 2 cents. And that's about all I'm going to sell on this one, because I didn't really make any money on this, so it was not worth my time. But I got to do this video, so. The weird thing, so first up, orders are going to show up in your manage orders. I also get notifications on my phone. So it, dings you and it says you have an order. And if you go into your Amazon seller app on your phone, it's going to highlight red that you have an order. This is super fun during Q4 to see all the orders come in, and you're like, oh, I've got 82 packages to ship out tomorrow. It's exciting and fun. It's the fun of Q4. If you're not, paying attention to your app, you can go into just your dashboard. It's going to show you have something to ship. And then if you go into orders, you can toggle on your order page between merchant fulfilled orders and FBA orders. Once you see that, you're going to click, I think it was confirm shipping. I don't know if I grabbed, yeah, I didn't. I just dove right into it, but let me find what that is really quick. That is, so you're going to go over to the new 3 little lines, and you're going to go to orders, manage orders, and you'll have pending, unshipped, canceled, and shipped. And on the very right, you can view FBA orders or view merchant fulfill orders. So anytime you want to bounce around between all of that, you can. It was kind of fun. I've met some people who didn't know that you can go see the FBA orders too. I often look at those FBA orders, and if you click on your FBA orders or your merchant fulfilled, yeah, I think just the FBA orders. I can't remember if you can do it for merchant fulfilled off the top of my head, but there's a spot on the very top where you can request an order review and product review. So hold on, now I got to do it. I don't have the whole thing memorized. Surprising. Going to FBA orders, and then you just go click on the order number, and in the upper right, I got to click another one. That one was not available. Okay, let's click that one. In the upper right is request a review. You also have refund an order, which is important to know because during Q4, sometimes you'll need to refund them for whatever reason, and that refund button is there. But I typically won't refund somebody until they have returned the product to me. Now, if they get the refund on first scan, if they still don't send it back in, then and they keep the item, you'll get your money for that sale. All right. In the order, now that I've hit buy shipping through Amazon, I thought it was weird. It flagged that they selected USPS media mail, which I'm like, it's candy. You can't do media mail. Another system error. But here you can see that I have unshipped quantity 2. They bought it for $3 a piece. So they collected 6, and then they collected $20.86 for shipping. That's fine. That's fine. If I wanted to go outside of Amazon and confirm shipping, which I'm going to walk you through how to do that too, you're going to hit this confirm shipment button. On the downside here, I went ahead and popped in. I found a 9x6x6 box. If you can use free or cheap supplies to ship in, great. But if you ship to people, you need to have it in a clean, non-used box. It cannot say eBay or Walmart or anything weird on the outside. People have even bought the Walmart boxes that are brand new that say Walmart and shipped in those. And the customer thinks they're getting it from Walmart because not everybody's very smart. Common sense is not that common, people. So it's got the ship date by Tuesday, October 25th. My label, this is where the label print, if you need to hook that up and hook up your printer. If you don't want it 4x6, you can print it out on the sheets of paper. I did that for a long time before I got my Dymos. Ship from, that's another spot where if you need to change the ship from, you can. I've had that happen where I'm like getting ready to leave or something, and somebody's going to drop something off from somewhere else. And or I have had in the past where I oversell or Amazon oversells. You know how I like to have that product lower? Well, it's because I learned. And I'm now short and I can't find the product in my area to make the sale, but I have a network of friends. So I call my friend and I'm like, hey, do you have an extra one of these? Can you ship it for me? I'll buy it from you. And they say, oh yeah, I can. Well, then I will go in and adjust and make sure that this and print out the label. And then I send them the PDF. They ship it out on my behalf. And then I enter in, the tracking would be in here and everything is good to go. It's called a Hail Mary. My goodness. So put in 3 pounds, 6 ounces. They bought 6 of these guys, so it was a little on the heavy side. Custom packaging, 9x6x6. And they're giving me the option of UPS ground, getting there Monday, October 31st, or priority cubic mail for 10 cents more, but it gets there by the Friday. Or, 54 cents to 37, a little bit more, regional A flat rate boxes. And then I can see all options. Now, the reason I have all these options is because in my shipping settings, I say you can select which options you want and which options you will do. So if you don't ever want to see FedEx on there, you can go take FedEx off or add FedEx in. I don't put any, I don't think there's anyone I don't think I do DHL, I think is the only one I don't really do. So if you need to adjust that because you're not seeing the options that you want, you're going to have to go in and adjust your template. Same with, I don't know if we have it here. No, I got it on another slide, but the shipping template that's associated with the items, you can change that on the item page too. If I see that in one of these slides, I'll point it out. Well, now this is where, when we get closer to Q4, and even this item, if I want it to get to them by Halloween, which they probably want it for Halloween, trick-or-treating, you're going to want to make sure you select something that's going to get it there, because the last thing you want to do is have it arrive on November 1st and they're like, I don't want it no more. Please refund me. And because it's a food item, they're going to not be able to refund it and they're going to be really pissed off. And so, you got to make those decisions as you see fit. When it's getting closer to Christmas and I see things that are obviously for Christmas, I will make sure I select, and I'll pay up to 10 cents or, up to like 50 cents, maybe even $1, and make sure it gets to them on time. Now, again, that's no guarantee, but I tried my best. So you're getting an Amazon sponsored discount. If I select this one for UPS Ground, they have a deal going with Amazon to get that discount. If you want a confirmation or declared value, you'd fill it in here. That does cost more, but let's say you're sending out an Xbox or something very expensive. You're going to want to get some more insurance on it and maybe have them sign for the delivery. You've all seen the posts out there where they just leave the things like hanging out in the yard. They throw them, chuck the packages at the front door and call it good. And it can be, you don't like these. I don't care about if you don't get your candy, your chocolates, whatever. But if it's something very expensive, then I'd want to do these items. And you're going to click buy shipping. When you do that, it's going to give you a label. Obviously, you print out the label, you slap it on the box, and then you can call and have, I go to ups.com, and for $3.80, they will come and pick up the shipment. If you go through Pirate Ship, if you go through ups.com, it's going to be more expensive. So use Pirate Ship to do pickups, or you drop it off at your local UPS store, or you supply your UPS driver with lots of chocolates and water, and she will pick them up on her normal route. Your choice. Now, this was pretty expensive. $13.37 was super expensive for Ground, and I'm like, I can get it cheaper over at Sendle. I love Sendle. I use Sendle for a lot of things, and you can too. It's morning. I got to have my morning coffee. For Sendle, you're going to have to copy and paste over all of the information and then get the tracking number and paste it back over on the site. So up here where it says buy shipping or confirm shipping, if you buy shipping through Pirate Ship or Sendle, you're going to do the confirm shipping. You're going to tell it how it's going, UPS, priority mail, whatever, and copy paste that tracking number in and hit that confirm tracking. That way it gets into the system and the customer knows that it's going and it's being tracked. You lose the A to Z, but at this point, I'm going, for that amount of shipping, I'm going to lose money because it's too high on the shipping. You make that mistake all the time. You're not alone. That's why you only do a couple, sell a couple, and then see how it goes. Crunch the numbers, which we're going to crunch the numbers in a minute, and then decide whether you want to go back and if it's worth it or not. So you're going to copy over the contact name, phone. I don't do the email. I don't do the phone. I don't do the business name. I literally just do, there we go. I do the contact name. I do the address, and it will pop in once you copy and paste the address in, it's going to autofill this down here. If not, you copy and paste in the zip code and it will come up. Most of the time there's one choice. Every once in a while you get a couple choices that pop up and you'll have to go make sure that the city and state match up correctly. I copy and paste the title of the product in the customer reference and whatever that one is down below. I think it's like your reference, just in case if I need to go back and find this item, find this total again, find this, find this shipment again. So Sindel has changed a little bit. The UI changed because everybody's changing their user interface. And I tell you, they keep changing the buttons on me all the time with things. It's quite annoying. They have some more sizes than they did a few years ago. You can do custom size, save sizes, classic size, and I just have stuck with this. I need to investigate the custom and the save sizes and see if that's something that would be worth investigating or not. But they have up to 0.5 pounds, which is 8 ounces, up to 1 pound, up to 5, 8, 10, 15, and 20. Now, little secret, I don't ever put in the dimensions. I just select up to 5 pounds, and I have been shipping this way for years. Should I be putting in the dimensions? Probably. Do I ever put in the dimensions? No, I am pretty lazy on that front. For up to 5 pounds, it was showing $11.23. But if we scroll down, they now have this option where it is, you got some other things going on here, which was interesting. I can do parcel select ground for $8.85. I don't know if that's the same as Sindel Saver, but it's the same time frame, 7 to 8 days. So basically my choices were $8.85 for 7 to 8 days, or 3 to 4 days for $11.23. I wound up going with the $11.23 because it's not their fault that I miscalculated how much this was going to cost for shipping. And I'm just dipping my toes into all of the new settings for this Q4. And I honestly thought it was going to be more towards the $9, which it would have been right here, than the $12 mark. So, good learning experience for me. So I paid up the $11.23 so they can get it by October 31st. They're actually going to get it, I can't remember what's for. Oh, well, anyhow, they were going to get it well before October 31st by a few days. I think they're pegged to get it on Saturday. And paid the $11.23. You get a label like this. I went ahead and this number down here, 9405, I'm going to copy and paste it into the confirm shipment and tell it that it was USPS priority mail. On the outside here, what I do like is I have Reese's Halloween peanut butter. This is important because when you start doing lots of packages, if you have to find one, like say they last minute said, hey, no, I want to cancel this order, trying to find it, this has just been helpful in the past. So I do that. All right, this is what it looks like. Confirm shipment, quantity 2, and then put in the information. This quantity in the shipment is where if you need to break things up into 2 packages, you can. I have only had a few scenarios where that is applicable. Let's say you have something that fits really nice into a flat rate bubble mailer, and now they've ordered several of them. It might be cheaper to purchase 2 flat rate bubble mailers than 1 together. But I'm trying to rack my brain on how else that would be, how else you would use this. But just keep that in the back of your mind that you can break this out and ship it in two different shipments if you wanted to. Let's say I only had 3 on hand and I needed to ship out 6. And my friend in Vegas, my friend Tina, and she had 3. I could, split it and have her ship 3 and I ship 3 and fulfill the order. I guess that would be an option there. All right, ship date. Select the ship date, ship from, again, my address here, carrier USPS, priority mail, copy paste the tracking number, and confirm shipment. Now let's break down what the cost is. This is the crunch time. Sometimes I can tell right away that, yay, I made lots of money on this. And sometimes I'm like, was that even profitable? You got to gather all your evidence. So my cost of goods, $14.97. I build it into my SKU and I list on Inventory Lab. So I got it at Fred Meyer for $14.97. And this is a random number they add to the back end just to make it special. You do this in the settings on Inventory Lab for, what is it, SKU Builder, MSKU Builder, I believe, in the options there. You can see the date you listed it, the date things changed. This I use when I'm going through old inventory. I use these dates to see if kind of the return date has passed. I'm going to go delete it out of my inventory if I'm not going to replenish it. So that way, if there's ever any IP complaints or anything, I'm not hit by them. You always want to clean up your old inventory. This is the Amazon fee, $2.39. Amazon gets $2.39. If you want to change the template, you can change it right here, migrated template. If I want to change it to a flat rate template, I could do that, or free shipping, you can do that. I have, I think, a free shipment, a priority flat rate bubble mailer template, and the migrated template. My migrated template is my default one for everything. So we've got the feature offered, which is mine, $3 plus shipping, $12.92. And I am currently the competitive price and the lowest price, and the rank is 2308 in grocery. So breaking down, we got cost of goods, $14.97, Amazon fee, $2.39, collected, $26.86. Sometimes tax is collected too, so you want to make sure you just zero, if you collect $2 in tax, make sure you take $2 out. Just a moment, my employee is messaging me. Something about school starting late. They need to come in an hour late. Story of my life. So profits are going to be what you received, money minus your expenses. So at shipping, $13.37, you can see 26 minus the Amazon fee minus what was collected, and then minus $13.37 gives me a negative. I lost $3.87. At the $11.23, I lost $1.73. And if I had taken the $8.85, I would have made 65 cents. So clearly, terrible buy. Don't go buy this one. This was not good. There's other ways to make money on this. There's a lot of other listings for this guy. You want to make sure you are on a listing that is profitable. Now, up here, I'm going to blow up 2 items with this box right here to show you that you can hit the match button. And when I hit matched on this one, the price had tanked so bad that I'd actually have to sell it for negative $3.52, which I don't think you can do on Amazon. I didn't try, but I wanted to show you what it looks like on your inventory page. This is the inventory page. You can, again, I would change the template to something else and then put in a price, but the competitive low price is $4.61. So this item has tanked down. Time to cut my losses and go on this one, I think. Maybe wait it out a little bit. Prices will go up and down significantly. And then this is the last slide I have here. This is my current shipping settings. This is my migrated template. I've got my preferred carriers, FedEx, UPS, USPS, my regions. So all of the United States, the inland states, not Alaska and Hawaii. You have to do those. You have to ship within the states. You cannot just say, I'm not going to ship to California because they piss me off. I don't want to ship to California. You have to ship to all 48 states here. And then if you want to ship to Alaska, Hawaii, and the territories, I do Puerto Rico. I don't do Guam. Again, I did a couple orders to Guam and it was too expensive to ship there. And I didn't want to create a template just for Guam people. Sorry, Guam people. I feel bad, but I'm not, it's my business. I cannot ship there if I don't want to. I do leave in APO, FPO sites because I am big into supporting our military. I have a lot of family in the military and I've shipped to APO sites for years. And I totally understand from my friends who have lived overstates, out of the States, that getting that thing from Amazon delivered over, even though it takes a long time to get through customs, is so worth it when you are just craving that bit of home and you can't find it when you're living in another country. I've had family and friends both in Japan for probably the last 20 years on and off. So I've very familiar with shipping to Japan. So address type, I do street and PO box. You can disconnect the PO box if you want. I don't have anything that I'm against PO boxes, so I leave it on there, but I know that some people don't want to do PO boxes for whatever reason. Transit time is managed by Amazon. You can't really do much about that. Amazon is going to look at what the carrier's shipping time is based on when the order was placed and when it's picked up, etc. And you don't have to deal with that. So that's fine. They used to have time estimations put in here, and now it just says managed by Amazon. I think they got tired of dealing with it. They're like, we're just going to put something in that field and curb the questions. My fees are $4.99 per order plus $4.99 per pound. Adjust accordingly if you don't, if you think that's too high, too low. What had happened to me one time was I was doing the candy, kind of like the scenario I showed you, and I had it at the $4.99 plus like 50 cents a pound. Well, somebody ordered like 30 packs of candy. And so I had this 20-pound box now, and they only collected about $5 worth of shipping. And it was clearly going to be about $20 worth of shipping. So lesson learned there. If you are always shipping clothes, and you may want to have just a clothes shipping template where it is base $4.99 a pound, and then it's only charging 50 cents more a pound, because clothing isn't as heavy on some things, like not winter jackets, but let's say you're just doing blouses like this that are very, very light. You may want to do that, and then it's incentive for customers to add more to their cart buying from you. So how do you ship merchant fulfilled? There you go. That's my long answer, my big walkthrough, all the ins and outs, tips, tricks, etc. There is a lot of different shipping supplies. I'm not going to get into shipping supplies because then we'd be here for another 30 minutes, but I wanted to go through, walking through from start to finish, what all the buttons mean, what to pay attention to, what not to pay attention to, etc. The last thing I will say is during the big heights of Q4, we keep everything very organized in the office. All our toys will be stacked up. We'll either put them in boxes, laundry hampers, trash bags, something to keep them contained, all like with like. And about once or twice a week, we will go through and bring up the Amazon inventory page where it said, that I had 7, and all I got to do is delete that 7, change it to 3 or whatever number I want, and hit enter. If you're using Inventory Lab and your CPA does accrual-based accounting and wants to track it, it's better to go through Inventory Lab and push it through than it is to adjust it on the Amazon side for just accounting purposes. So keep that in mind. If you're just doing cash-based accounting, it doesn't matter. Go list it at the store, adjust as needed. It's pretty easy peasy. In fact, I'm not really good because a lot of times I'll just adjust on the Amazon side, and my CPA gets upset sometimes with me. And I have to provide the receipts, or I have to just keep track of what I didn't put in there so that she can keep track of the cost of goods. Because that's what I use Inventory Lab for, is the cost of goods. If you're just putting it into Amazon, you don't tell Amazon what the cost of goods is. So you've got to capture that cost of goods somewhere. And for accounting purposes, mine are run through Inventory Lab. So I want to make sure the cost of goods is good. My estimations on shipping and sales, like that doesn't matter. It's going to pull from Amazon that information. I hope that makes sense. All right, guys, leave me your questions. I hope you enjoyed it. I thought about doing this video a little bit more succinct, but I kind of wanted to do it in the sense of I feel like I'm sitting down with a friend, you'd be my friend, and walking through, like, apologize for the likes. I'm trying to be better on that and not say the word like, and it's really irritating myself. I'm irritating myself. But I tried to think about if you came into my office and said, Lucy, how would I do merchant fulfilling? And I don't want to just sit here and give you an easy, just list on Amazon and, calculate the shipping blanket answer. I wanted to just sit down with you and go through it with a fine-tooth comb for anybody who's starting on Amazon, because it can be overwhelming, daunting, and a little confusing on what to pay attention to, what not to pay attention to, all of the things involved. So with that being said, I've got to get to work, guys. Take care and have an amazing day.